As the Nintendo Switch gets slowly sunset in its final full year, most people tend to look ahead and think about what's to come with the Switch successor and all of the games that we'll get with it. But that. The Switch has left me with so many good memories, and I want to celebrate one of the greatest consoles ever made by telling you about my favorite games and memories I had with the Switch. This isn't just a list of games, but a list of core memories I think I'll carry with me forever. On March 3rd, 2017, I went to the midnight launch with my mom because my birthday was 2 days later and she let me get the Switch early. This was really quite special because we were always pretty poor, so we both saved up enough money and we split the cost 50-50. I used to be so smart with money, but now I impulse buy candy from YouTubers at 3 AM. What happened to me? I stayed up all that night playing Breath of the Wild, and the next day I slept through most of my classes, then I played some more. Oh, all the good memories of evading personal responsibilities to play and talk about video games. Not much has changed there. After I beat Breath of the Wild, I fell off video games pretty hard. Depression, or whatever you want to call it, comes in waves for me, and around that time, I was just so tired. I just couldn't play video games. I just didn't have any energy. But something right around the corner was there to pick me back up.
Super Mario Odyssey!
It didn't fix my brain fog necessarily, but I just had fun. I know people have critiques about the level design and the moon placements, and honestly a lot of that is justified. But what made it my favorite Mario game of them all was that it just felt like God to play. It just felt so crisp to control. I was completely blown away at how much fun I had with it that I even started to learn the speedrun. Of course I didn't do it, it just seemed like so much work at the time. And if learning a speedrun seemed like too much work for me at the time, then you should know I definitely wasn't ready for. Just a quick interlude before I continue. This was just going to be a top 5 games of the Switch, but as I sat down to write out this script, it just felt right to do it this way, you know? Also, my goal is to become monetized and I need 1,000 subscribers to reach that, so please hit that subscribe button if you're liking what you see, thank you. E-begging aside, right before college began, this small party fighting game, you may have heard of it, it's called I was following every drop of news I could. I loved Brawl, and I played a good bit of Melee, but I never got to own a Wii U, so all the character reveals for Smash 4 never really hit the same. But this time, I didn't let that opportunity pass me up. I got the game on launch day, and I mean, it was fun, I guess. My internet was too bad to play online, and none of my friends were really into party or fighting games too much, so if we did play, I would just always win, and that's really no fun. But once I entered college, wow, a completely different story. I don't know what it is about college, but everybody seems to be down to play Nintendo games. It was pretty f***ing awesome. My first tour of the dorms, I suggested that we play Smash to get to meet each other better, and it was actually a great time. But that's just the tip of the iceberg with Ultimate though. I made a couple of amazing friends who were super into Nintendo like me. After I'd get back from classes, I'd rush back to the dorms and my close friend at the time would come over, or I'd go to his dorm and we'd just grind 1v1s for hours straight. He would almost consistently stomp me though. I know it doesn't sound like it, but it was some of the most fun I have ever had. And hey Kobe, if for some reason you're watching this, hit me up, we should play around sometime. I had another friend who was super into Smash too, and he actually got me to go to a tournament. Okay, well, it was just a group of 9 people in a dorm room with no prize, but it still counts, damn it. And I just won so hard, and after it was over, they took turns seeing who could beat me first. But this may have been a mistake, this got my confidence up way too high. So that aforementioned friend brought me to a real tournament, and I completely lost 0-2. Also, a quick side note, it smelled terrible in there. The memes are actually real. Please shower if you're going to an event. I played another tournament after that, and I lost again, but this time it was 2-2, so I was actually getting better. After this though, I stopped tryharding as much, and I just had fun playing with friends and playing online. Eventually, I slowly drifted away from the game until I just never really played it that much anymore. It's a bit sad, but I'm just happy it happened. During this time, I was playing other games like Tetris 99 and Mario Maker 2 a good decent chunk also, but after my Smash phase wore off, I had another phase of just being dead tired with no motivation. I stopped playing games, I stopped doing schoolwork, until I finally dropped out when COVID happened. I made a great decision here. I would drop out and become a day trader. It was brilliant. I made like $200 from gambling with options, so of course I could drop out and go full time. As you could probably tell, this didn't work out as well as I imagined it would. It was rough for a while there, but I locked in and I made it work. Well, not the day trading, but something else entirely. But we're here to talk about the Switch, god. And if we're talking about it, I didn't play too much for a while. I was completely locked in trying to make it. And I actually did for a while there. I made a good chunk of change and I just coasted for a while. It was really nice. During this period, I was always keeping up with gaming and Nintendo news though. It's an obsession of mine that I don't think will ever go away. Even if I'm not playing games, I'm looking at the news and I'm keeping up with what games are coming out. So what was the big news around this time? The Breath of the Wild sequel was in development. I kept up with everything. I watched every hour-long analysis of those 1-minute teaser trailers and it was just a great time. I was so excited, and during this time I was planning my first trip abroad ever. It was a super hectic time for me, but I look back on that time period really fondly now. I went to Bogota, Colombia, and wow, what a beautiful country to stay inside all day and watch YouTube. That's pretty much all I did. I was just waiting for Tears of the Kingdom to drop. And finally on May 12th, 2023, it did. The entire time I was playing, I just kept thinking that this game made Breath of the Wild feel like a beta. Everything felt so new, and actually having dungeons just made everything better. And oh, the story was amazing. I played it for about 3 to 4 days straight, and then I beat it, and that was that. It was an amazing game. But as time started to move on like it always does, I kept forgetting details about the game. I really do hate to say this about such an amazing game, but looking back on it in retrospect, everything was just so forgettable. It all just blended in with Breath of the Wild in my mind. Even though I think Tears is a much better game than Breath of the Wild, that's the game that sticks in my mind the most. It honestly sucks to say that because I actually cried at the ending to Tears of the Kingdom. But hey, like what I said earlier, I'm glad it happened. But seriously, why the did the story have to take place in the distant past? It was my favorite part of the game, and the only way to experience it is optional crop circles on the ground. Sorry, I really do love the game, and this critique comes from a place of love. So after I left Colombia, I set my sights on Europe and I went to the UK. I wasn't playing too much Nintendo, planning out more trips abroad, but I was mildly excited about the next 2D Mario game. It looked like something new, and I was really craving that after a decade plus of having the new Super Mario Bros. Style. And I did exactly that. I picked it up on launch and holy was this way better than I expected. I liked it so much that I even unlocked the final level. Okay, well the second to last level. I'm not a completionist type of guy. It just never really appealed to me, you know? So now I'm actually pretty damn hype about the next game in the series. Wonder 2? I doubt it. But just any new 2D game and I'm in. So after all of that, I left the UK and I just kept moving along in life. Oh yeah. And I was also playing the best racing game to ever come out the entire time.
Mario Kart 8!
I've been playing Mario Kart 8 Deluxe since launch day for years now. I'm not the best at it, and I definitely don't have the most hours in it, but it's one of those games that I always come back to. It just feels so smooth, and the items are great, and I know this is an unpopular opinion, but I f with the coin mechanic heavy. It just adds a bit more strategy and skill in my opinion, and I've actually been playing it a lot more recently, and it's one of the main reasons I've been booting up my Switch almost every day now. Honestly, one of my favorite games ever made. I was actually thinking about making a video discussing and rating every Mario Kart 8 course thumbnail, but I've been back and forth on the idea. Would anybody actually watch that? That's besides the point though. Mario Kart 8 has been with me for years and I will always cherish it. Those were some of my greatest memories and favorite games I had of the Switch lifecycle. Sadly, there are some games that I haven't gotten around to playing because of certain reasons, but I want to definitely play these. And those are Kirby and the Forgotten Land, Luigi's Mansion 3, and Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door. I need to play those. I know, you don't have to tell me, I really want to too. So for anybody dedicated enough to watch this far, I really just want to say thank you. It means a lot to me. And if you're in this far, you should subscribe. My dream was always to become a YouTuber, and to get monetized I need 1,000 subscribers, so I'm still a good ways away from it, so every person helps in that case. But enough e-begging, I want to know what your favorite games and favorite memories of the Switch is. I would really love to hear those in the comments. But that's all for me, I hope you have an amazing day. Thank you for watching.